Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a beginner tutorial. Everything you need is in this video if you want to get started with jump rope, or if you're sort of ready to level up and you need to make sure that you've got the right rope length and the right form to get you there. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into it. First things first, rope type. It's a funny one because I'm very much about a rope is better than no rope, but at the same time, if you have the wrong rope, it can seriously hinder your progress or get you started with some pretty bad habits. It is really good if you can make sure you're starting with the right rope. Now, ideally, you want to be starting with either a beaded or PVC rope. If you're looking at a wire rope or you have a wire rope, you need to stop. Do not get a wire rope. Do not try to learn to jump rope on a wire rope. It doesn't matter what your goals are, even if you're looking to, max out your doubles in CrossFit, where yes, a wire rope may be better for you at that stage. You're not there yet. You're learning to jump rope. So you need a rope that's going to be easy to work with and that you can learn easily on. In my opinion, out of beaded and PVC, and in a lot of people's opinions really, if you ask all the jump rope pros, a beaded rope is going to be best because it gives you the most feedback. It will move nice and slowly through the air and it holds its shape nice and easily. It will give you a chance to react and it will give you a chance to control the rope. And it will help to teach you correct and efficient form, which I'll go into in a bit. 5mm PVC is also a good option. It's not going to move really fast like wire either, but it's just not going to give you quite as much feedback as a beaded rope will. Both PVC and beaded are great for doing tricks and footwork. A wire rope, it doesn't matter how proficient you are and how experienced you are, they're never suitable for manipulation and really footwork as well. Another thing about beaded and PVC is that there aren't mechanical handles, and you might be thinking, surely mechanical handles, they're all fancy, surely they're going to be better for me. They may feel better at the start because the rope will move very easily without you actually applying energy in the right way. A rope with mechanical handles will move almost on its own. But the problem with that is you're never going to learn proper form. So you're never going to learn to rotate and control the rope yourself, which may be fine for the basic bounce and really simple stuff. But if you want to advance and learn crosses, swings, and everything that comes after that, then really you want these straightforward handles. No bearings, nothing that's going to enable that to move on its own. Beaded or PVC, ditch the wire ropes. Something else that will make or break your jump rope progress is the length of your rope. Now that's another good thing about beaded and PVC ropes. They usually come one length, super long, and very easy to resize. So you can shorten them and see if it works for you, maybe leave some excess in case you've gone too short. So how long should your rope be? Now this is ultimately down to personal preference, but there is a general rule to follow. Now just for reference, my rope is this long. If I put one foot in front of it, without handles, it's coming up below my belly button. Now, a lot of people would say that's too short. A lot of information on the internet would say that your rope should actually be up to your armpits, which is simply not true. If you have a rope that is too long for you, it's going to force your arms out to the side. And if a long rope doesn't force your arms out to the side, you'll end up with too much slack hitting the floor in front of you, and then that's just going to bounce up and trip you up. So either way, it's just a no-no. What you want to be aiming for quite early on in your journey is that your rope allows you to keep your hands nice and close to your body. You'll see here, I'd be really tightening my rope to get it out to the side there. You want it to just be comfortable so that you can literally keep your hands down by the side of your body and there won't be a lot of excess rope hitting the ground when you have this sort of hand position. Now, I wouldn't recommend you have your rope really short as a beginner either. You want to start with it a little bit longer just to give you a bit of room for error. But the trick is to make sure you don't start with it so long that it's causing you more error. So what I recommend beginners is to step in your rope with one foot, pull the rope up taut, put your rope like this. You want the end of your rope to come up to just below your chest. I know that's a lot longer than mine, but it's going to give you that room for error as as I said. And from that position, as you practice and improve, you can gradually shorten it over time to something that's comfortable for you. What you don't want to be doing is following instructions on the internet, which literally says have your rope up to your armpit. That is just going to force you into this position, which is going to put wear on your shoulders. Believe it or not, when you jump rope, you shouldn't be feeling it in your shoulders. It's just a total myth and something that comes from people who ultimately have really inefficient form. Jump rope is a cardio exercise. Yes, it's going to work your muscles, but it's not a muscle building activity, and you don't want to be putting a strain on your shoulders. It may lead to injury. So yeah, we've covered rope type and rope length, and now let's get into correct jump rope form. Okay, so before I get into the actual movement, I want to talk about how you hold your handles. And I've got my very battered handles here. If you haven't seen my videos, you're probably wondering, why has she got such battered handles? And I do a lot of releases and stuff. It's really good fun. But when you mess up, you chip your handles, basically. But they never shatter, they never break, because they're shatterproof. Not shatterproof, they're like totally resistant to breaking. That's the correct terminology. Anyway, you'll see when you have the right type of rope for the job with good handles, you should have a wider bit at the end here. Unless you're doing speed work, there are times where you might want to grip the handle like this. But when you're actually learning to jump rope and doing the basics and performing most things that you see in my videos, you will just want to lightly grip the handles, and you literally just want the handles to rest between your index finger and thumb like this. You'll just put them close enough together that they rest like that, and it's that simple. And it's really important because it's going to encourage you not to stiffen up and tense up. When you have a light grip on the handles, it encourages a really nice relaxed form, so it's important. Now, a really common misconception with jump rope is that you should rotate your handles like this. When you think about it, a jump rope is a rotating object. It's rotating around a center point, and you want to imagine that the center point of that rotation is you. It's your hands doing the rotating here. This is going to become the center point of the rope. And with that in mind, you don't want to be moving that center point. It's actually going to go against physics. It's going to go against what is best for how to rotate the rope. You want to remember that the rope is attached. So if you just apply energy down, that rope is going to come back around on its own because it's attached to the handles. You don't need to be going like this. If you just flick down once for the rotation, that's going to come back over your head as it just did with me then. You just want to apply one flick down per rotation. So it's flick, 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 flick. You see, every time it's actually an up and down movement. I'm going like this. Flick down to apply the energy, and then bring my hands up to reset for another flick down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I just want you to remember that that's what you're trying to aim for. And with your elbows, a lot of people say about tucking them into your body. That's not what you want either, because that's going to actually push your hands out to the side, which is going to shorten your rope. You actually want your elbows to just point behind you, and they don't need to be in, like touching your body. I personally don't find that comfortable. You just want to be relaxed, and then the energy is coming from elbow flexions. So when you see me jump, you'll see that my hands are going up and down and my elbows are bending and extending as I go. So when I'm in the air, my arms are pretty straight. When the rope is above me, my elbows are flexed. Another great thing about the up and down movement is that it's really easy to coordinate with your jumping, because you flick down as you jump up, and that's all you need to do. The rest is a reset. So jump up and flick down at the same time. So I'm going to go through all the drills that I recommend you should be working through to nail your basic bounce down. And I'm going to go through these in progressive order. So ideally, you should be nailing one after the other if you can. So make sure you're comfortable with the one I give you, then move on to the next one. But when you move on, you should be repeating all the drills I've shown you. So even once you've advanced to the later drills, keep on working on the earlier ones. If you do want more structure to follow, I teach all this on my app Fancy Feet, and I have a 6-week beginner course and also a 2-week beginner basic bounce course, which structures the sessions for you so you can just let the app do the work and then follow along. So you can check that out if you like, but I'm going to go through all of the drills for you now for you to try in your own time. Okay, so the first drill is about timing. So we actually want to ditch the rope and we're going to do penguin jumps or penguin taps, whatever. But basically, you're going to be doing your jumps and you're going to tap your thighs at the top of each jump. That thigh tap is basically replicating the moment you flick down with the rope. So it's just helping your brain to coordinate and get used to the timing. Make sure you film yourself doing this because you want to make sure that your hands are tapping your thighs at the top of your jump. You don't want to be doing this because that's wrong. And if you did that in jump rope, you'd never clear the rope. You want to be tapping your thighs correctly like this. For your next drill, you want to pick up the rope and do rope swings. Thinking about that flick down, flick, flick, flick on each rotation. Flick, you're hitting the rope on the floor just in front of you and you're flicking down on each rotation like that. Just flicking down once and then let the rope come back over on its own. You want to do the same thing with the other side. And you'll find, I mean, even with me, you find that one side is going to be more dominant than the other. Typically, whatever side you write with is going to be better, your dominant side. Again, film yourself and just make sure the rope is staying on its axis. You're not kind of going all off like this. This isn't right. That's not going to help you. You need to make sure the rope is going straight alongside you, drawing a line with the rope next to your feet, and really keep your wrists loose. I know a lot of people talk about rotating the rope with your wrists. I personally don't like that advice. I feel like it encourages people to maintain tension on their wrist for the full rotation. It's actually more that you want to keep your wrists loose, almost flick them. As I've talked about, you want the energy to come from elbow flexion. And that's what you should be doing with these as well. Don't want to be going like this. Don't want any stiff movements like this or even like this, because that's not scalable. If you're rotating your wrists like that, you're not going to get it much faster than that. But if you're getting the energy from your elbows, then you can really scale that up. So you don't need to practice going fast at this stage. I was just demonstrating, just nice and steady, practice the rotations. Okay, next I've put the rope down again and we're just gonna do a progression of the penguin jumps. What I want you to do is do your penguin jumps, but replace the thigh tap with flick downs, because that's gonna replicate flicking the rope down. Remember what I said, you wanna flick the rope down as you're jumping up, and you've got that elbow flexion. You'll see that it's all coming from my elbows. So flick down as you're jumping up. It's all in one smooth movement like that. That's what you want to practice. And you want to stay on your toes, stay nice and low. Again, make sure that you're not flicking down when you land. You're flicking down as you jump up. So next, toe catches. This is going to help you to practice your hand position. Now, if you can catch the rope under your toes, that says that your hand position is correct. If you can't, then your hands are too far out to the side and you need to bring them in. If you've got too much rope hitting the ground, then it's likely your rope is too long and you need to make some adjustments there. But otherwise, what you want to be doing is aiming to be able to get like this, consistently get your toe catches all in a row. Because a big misconception as well with jump rope is that your rope shouldn't hit the ground, that it should somehow sort of hover above the ground. Your rope should be hitting the ground and you should audibly hear the rope hitting the ground. It's going to give you the best chance to clear it however fast you're going, and it's also just going to be most efficient. You're not going to have to jump high to clear it. Now, once you've got all those drills down and you're comfortable with them, you can start adding some bounces, and I recommend sticking to your toe catches to keep you sort of in focus, like you know that your rope's in the right place, and then just add one jump and do a toe catch, and then jump and toe catch. When you're doing the jump, I want you to be toe catching immediately afterwards to start with. Start doing a couple of jumps. What you'll find is that your hands will start leaning out to the side. By doing a jump and a toe catch, getting used to be able to repeatedly keep your hands in the right place. And then as you get that consistently, you can start adding a couple of jumps into a toe catch. 1, 2, 3 into a toe catch. 1, 2, 3, 4 into a toe catch. And you can sort of work your way up a ladder like that. It's a really good way to do it. Suddenly find you're getting stuck on say 3, then maybe scale it back to 2 again and just keep doing 2 jumps into a toe catch until you're confident, and then go back to adding 3 again, and so on. It's a really good progressive way to get your hands used to that position without just getting so exhausted and tired with all the jumping. Because one thing you need to know as a beginner watching this, your body is not going to be used to jump rope yet, and you're also a beginner, so your form isn't going to be perfect. So it's really important that you keep the jumping minimal in your sessions at the start. You don't really want to be jumping for more than, say, 5 to 10 minutes initially. I think in Fancy Feet I really ease people in purposely. The initial sessions are like 10 minutes with short intervals of jumping within that, so you're actually only jumping for like just over 5 minutes in a whole session. You've got all of these non-jumping drills you can practice, which not only is going to help you improve, but help you improve without getting an injury and getting an overuse injury at the start, which you need to be really careful of. So other things to note as we're now introducing the jumping, you want to stay on your toes and close to the ground. I mean, your jump height is going to be impacted by your speed, so don't worry if you're not as close to the ground as you see other people jumping, because that will come with time. As a beginner, you may need to just jump that bit higher because your rope's going slower. You need to allow enough time for your rope to do a rotation before you're hitting the ground again. If you hit the ground too soon, then you end up double bouncing. So that's another thing. A lot of people say you only have to jump as high as the rope is thick, which isn't true, because actually you need to jump as high as you need to land at the right time with your rotation. If you jump really low and your rope's moving slow, you will end up doing a double bounce. So if you do start double bouncing, one thing you can do is go back to your toe catch ladder, and another thing you can do, slow down your jump, so jump higher, which is probably going to be the easiest thing for a beginner, or you need to speed up your rope to match your jumps. That's how to correct that. It is very common at the start. If you're doing that, don't worry, keep practicing, keep working on the drills, and you will be able to get rid of it. And then later on you can reintroduce the double bounce when you want to intentionally, because it's actually quite fun to add into your jumping. Make sure you're not flicking your feet back. You just want to keep nice and relaxed. Slight bend at your knees. You're landing on the balls of your feet, and you don't want to be stretching your legs in the air, because that's going to mean potentially quite a hard landing and put pressure on your knees. You just want to stay really soft knees. All of the jumps are coming from your feet. You don't want to land flat, nice and soft like this. You don't want to see this. So yeah, that just about covers getting started with jump rope. I hope you found that helpful. As I said, on Fancy Feet's app, I have complete breakdown tutorials for the basic bounce and hundreds of other skills and combos and routines. It's endless. You can follow the skill map. Really engaging. It's really fun. It's really satisfying to go through ticking off those skills on the skill map. There's a training section as well where you can actually follow programs and workouts, and a lot of those are actually focused on your form. So actually learning the skills, learning the basic bounce. The 6-week course is brilliant because you can learn like 10 skills in 6 weeks, and it takes you through it gradually with 5 sessions per week, increasing the length of the session and your intervals gradually so you don't get injured, and increasing your skills as well as you go. So check that out. My ropes are in the link in the description. There's also mats. A mat will help with impact, but it won't make you immune from injury. I must say that. The main reason I use a mat is to protect my rope, but yeah, especially on a ground like this, on concrete, it does offer some reduced impact as well. So yeah, I hope that helps. Let me know if it did in the comments, and let me know if you want to see any more videos like this one and what I can help you with, and I will see you in my next video. That's a wrap, innit?